Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Now today I'm doing something slightly different. So all of you know me as my day off vlogs, but today I'm going to walk through the process to get an IEC visa for Canada. Now I've wanted to film this for so long, but I've been so busy and I've wanted to make sure that it's perfect because there's so much information to be able to get a Canadian visa, and I just wanted to make sure that I have done it all correctly, I've done my research, and I give you the right information. Now just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a professional, I don't advise people in getting visas, but this is just my personal experience, because if you've seen in my last few videos, you would have seen I've currently just been approved for a 2-year working holiday visa in Canada for me and my partner, and we go away on the 26th of December, which is super soon, and I'm super excited. One of the main reasons I wanted to film this was because when I was first looking into getting a visa, I searched all over YouTube and there's so many videos. A few videos miss like important points. Like I thought the visa process was quite stressful because I didn't have the right information. So I feel if you're watching this and you're looking to get a Canadian visa, I'm going to try and break it down as easy as possible because I don't want anyone to go through it like I did. It was so stressful, and it shouldn't be stressful because this is an exciting part of your life. Like if you're wanting to move to Canada for the 2 years, it's super exciting and you don't want to be put off by the process of it. If I do miss anything out, I do apologise, but if you have any questions whatsoever, then please just drop it down in the description box and I'll be able to answer the question as best as possible. Obviously, like I said, I don't know everything. This is just my personal experience, what I've done, how I've got my visa, but I want to share it with you guys. Best of luck to all of you who are applying for that visa. My fingers are crossed for you. It is quite a long process sometimes, but trust me, stick with it and it is worth it. First of all, step number 1, I'm just going to let you know that we are applying for an IEC visa. This is an International Experience Canada visa. Now there is many more visas you can apply for. The best thing to do to find the best visa for you is go on the website. I will link all the websites down below and to make it easier for you guys. Now there is another visa that I was personally going to go for, and it's called the Express Entry visa. Now because I have a degree and because I've got my GCSEs, I qualified to have an Express Entry visa, which means that you can kind of go in with a permanent residency. It does take slightly longer and it is more expensive, but I could have gone down that route if I wanted to. The only reason I didn't is one, the timing, because it does take slightly longer because you have to do a few more checks. And also I wanted just to match my partner. So like I said, I'm moving to Canada with my partner and I wanted to make sure we go on the same journey. So yeah, so we did that. So I have gone for an IEC, which is also known as the International Experience Canada visa, but I'll refer to it as IEC in this whole video. Now, I applied for my IEC on the 14th of March 2019. So I'm going to keep saying dates throughout the video so you know how long it took me personally to get through to each stage. So like I said, on the Monday the 14th 2019, I set up my online profile. So I am going to link it all at the side if I can, but basically you go on the IEC Canada website and it will tell you to set up a profile. You just click on set up a profile and you just follow everything from there. It is just simple things such as your email address, your address, home address, your phone number, your email account, and nothing too personal at this point. It is literally just straightforward information. You don't need to prepare anything at this point. You literally, I think I did it at like 1 AM in the morning when I was in bed. I was just flicking through it and I thought I'd just set up my profile that day. So that is step number 1. So please make sure the first thing you do if you want to go and get a visa in Canada is go and see if you're eligible for the right visa, and then once they tell you what visa you're eligible, read into it and see which one best suits you, and then you need to set up a profile. Just to let you know that IEC is a work and holiday visa, and for people in the United Kingdom you have a 2-year work and holiday visa, so you can stay in that country for 2 years. After the 2 years, then you either have to leave the country or apply for an extension. So step number 2 is all about the documents and also the pool. Now, once you've set up your profile, there is a long wait. Now, every single person is different. So like I said, me and my partner both applied on exactly the same day within 10 minutes of each other. That does not mean that you will get accepted on the same day. Now I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth, and this bit is slightly more confusing, but stay with it because it does make sense at the end. But the first thing I'm going to tell you about is while you're waiting, you need to get your documents ready. So sometimes some people can wait for 1 month, 3 months, a year even sometimes. And while you're waiting, don't just sit waiting. You need to get your documents ready, because as soon as you get your invitation to apply, then you need to submit it all within a certain amount of time. Now the things you need to get ready is make sure your passport is in date for the 2 years from when you want to go for 2 years afterwards, because if you get accepted and your passport runs out of date, unfortunately your visa is no longer valid with that passport. You have to get a brand new visa. So please make sure your passport has at least 2 years in date from when you would like to go over to Canada. The second thing, you need to make sure you get a police certificate. The best place to get this from is the ACRO website. Like I said, I'll leave that all down below. It's acro.police.uk. Now that costs £45 and it comes with you in 10 working days. Now like I said, you can get an invitation to apply within a week or month or a year. The best thing to do is get that police certificate as quick as possible, so you know that you have got it and you're ready to submit it. Now if you do get an invitation to apply and you've not yet got your police certificate, then you can apply for your police certificate and it can come within you within 2 working days if you pay £80. Now I didn't get my invitation to apply, but I still went down that route because I wanted to know that I had it, and if the invitation came up then I could get it. I knew I was getting it within those 2 days. So like I said, if you don't mind and you don't mind waiting, it's £45 and your police certificate will come to you within 10 days. If you want it within 2 working days, then you have to pay £80. I do need to stress this to you guys because this is something that happened to myself. You need to produce a police certificate for anywhere you have lived for 6 months or longer, okay? So I lived in Cyprus for 3 years, so I needed to produce a Cypriot police certificate to the Canadian border as well. Now the best way to do this is just going on Google, and depending on what country you lived in, you can research it. Now for Cyprus, it was pretty straightforward. I just had to fill out a form, which I printed off online off their Heads of Police website. I just had to put in €20, I believe. Sorry if I'm wrong, it was a while ago now. But I think I had to put in that letter with my €20 and I sent it off first class to Nicosia, Head of Police Department. Then 2 weeks later, I got a letter back in the post from the police department, and they said they can't provide me with a certificate, but they can write down that I have not been involved in anything police related while I lived over there for 3 years. Whatever country you have lived in, just apply for it. Even if they don't send you back a police certificate, even if they send it back saying that you have been cleared of, like there's no charges under your name in that country, that is absolutely fine, so do not panic. It might cost you a bit more if you've been traveling and you've been to many countries for more than 6 months, but honestly it is worth it. So please make sure you have got your police certificate ready. The next thing is obviously your passport size photos. You need to get a passport size photo done and scan that in as well once you've got your invitation to apply. And they will also ask you to fill out this form, and it's a family background check as well. But that's something you can't prepare before. Like I said, the only ones you can prepare before are your police certificate, your photos, and also to make sure your passport is in date. So please make sure you've got all those documents at the ready when you apply when you first create your profile and while you're waiting in the pool. Which brings me on to my next step, and it's talking about the pool. Now this is so confusing, and I'm gonna try and break it down and make it as clear as possible, because it took me a while for my head to get around it as well. So basically, once you've created your profile, you are all waiting in a pool. Okay, so I've got a picture of the pool just to make it slightly more easier. So basically, every single country has a pool, and it looks like this. And it says invitations issued to date, so that's how many they have issued in this section. It says how many spots are still available, and then it says candidates in this pool. Now, as you know, in the UK, there's thousands and thousands and millions of people, and there are loads of people applying to go to Canada. So in the candidates in the pool, when I first went in it, there was thousands, and I say thousands, there's probably like 4,600 and something, and spots available was like 20. So I knew that I was going to be in that pool for a very long time, because there was thousands of people and they wasn't accepting many people. Now every Friday they update the pool, and you can go online and find that. So the best thing I ever did when I first started this process was join a Facebook page. I'm just going to show you guys it. It's called O Canada, the IEC discussion and support page. Now that was the best move I ever made, because any question I ever had, I wrote it on there and they answered my question within like a few hours, even minutes sometimes. There's a lady on there called Kathy, and she knows everything. So if you're stuck at all, then please add yourself to this Facebook page. They upload the pool onto their page, so you don't need to go search for it on the website. It basically tells you how many people they're accepting that week, how many's in the pool that week, etc, etc. Now it is done by a lottery draw, so even though me and my partner applied on the same day, we would not necessarily be accepted on the same day, because it is like a lucky draw. They pick a name out of a hat. Well, not really like that, but that's the best way to do an example. They pick a name out the hat, and that is the person that is going to get that visa that week. Now my partner got his, I think, 3 weeks before me, even though I did mine first. Then the week I got accepted, they started taking in 4,000 people. So where it said spots available on the Friday, it said 4,000 people, and the candidates in the pool were 2,000. So I kind of had a good inkling that I was possibly getting my invitation to apply that week, and I did. So you just need to keep your eye on the pool. So once you've created your profile, you've got your documents at the ready, you just need to keep looking every Friday at that pool. Now some days it is quite disheartening when you see 5 spots available and 5,000 people in the pool, because unless you're extremely lucky, then that might not be you. But like I said, every year for the last how many years, they have said that they've accepted about 4,000 to 5,000 people at some points. And like I said, when that happens, I had a small feeling that I would get accepted, and then that was my lucky week. So please, step 2, get your documents ready and get yourself looking at that pool every Friday. Now personally, under my experience, that was the most stressful part for me. So it wasn't the filling out the forms or anything. The most stressful part is just waiting and waiting and waiting, like not knowing when you're gonna get accepted. Because my boyfriend got accepted a few weeks before me and he had everything done and sorted, I thought I never was gonna get that opportunity and I wouldn't be able to go. But you just gotta hold out and just every Friday morning look on that pool and just keep your fingers crossed until you're that lucky person. Now this is bringing me on to step number 3. So once you have got your invitation to apply, once you've been accepted into the pool and you've filled out all your information, you've got your police certificate sorted, you've scanned that in, you've scanned your passport in, you've scanned your photos in, you've filled out your family background check, the next step is also waiting again. I got my invitation to apply on the 12th of June. So like I said, I applied on the 14th of March and I got mine on the 12th of June. I had to wait 3 months to get my invitation to apply. So that was a very long 3 months, but it came in the end. So your next stage is once you've had your invitation applied, you've scanned everything in, it is also another waiting game, but this time it's not as long. So the next step is your biometrics. Now, I didn't have a clue what this word meant or anything, so I'm gonna break it down for you guys, just in case you're thinking, what is biometrics? So basically, biometrics is just your fingerprints. Now, like I said, I got my invitation to apply on the 12th of June. Because I had all my documents ready, I sent it off on the 12th of June, and I heard back about my biometrics on the 13th of June. So like I said, if you do step 2 properly and prepare, you will only have to wait a day to get that biometrics letter. It is literally just an update on your profile. You go on and it says that you have a letter, you look at it, and it basically says you just need to get your biometrics done. You do have a time frame to get it done, which is the most frustrating part, because there's not many, well, I say there's not many, there's just one place to get it done in the UK. So you go onto the website that they link with the letter, and it takes you to the biometrics page. Now you type in United Kingdom, and the only place that comes up is London. Now I live in North Wales, and London is a good 5 hours away. Biometrics is actually only £19.20, but it's the transport to London. If you don't live in London, when I went to get my biometrics done, there was people from Scotland, and I felt so sorry for them. But your biometrics have to be done. Like, you will not get your visa unless your biometrics are done. So you need to book an appointment as quick as possible. Now the appointments run up quick, so as soon as you get your letter, click on that link and you book your appointment. The best advice I can say to you guys from what I've learned is book an appointment after 12 o'clock, so lunchtime. My boyfriend booked an appointment for 10 AM when it first opened, and because there is also a walk-in service, it was so busy. So even though you booked an appointment for a certain time, we were still waiting for about an hour afterwards to be seen, because it's like a doctor's. You literally in a waiting room and you get called in one by one. Now I booked mine for just after lunchtime, so just after 12, and that was the best thing I did, because by then all the walk-ins had been seen to, and it was just the people with appointments left. So I literally went in on the dot. I also booked mine just after lunch because I got the train down in the morning, and I was just going to spend a day there, get it done and go home. You spend so much money and so much time getting to London, and I'm not even joking when I said you're in and out within 5 minutes. So if you've booked your appointment for after lunch, so for example at 12:30, you'll go in, you'll get seen to at 12:30, and you're out by 25 minutes too. You literally just sit down, there's no stress or anything. You just need to take your biometrics letter with you, which they sent to you after you got your invitation to apply. You sit down, they take a photo of your face, and you put your finger on the fingerprint service, and then they said that's all done. Yeah, it's one of those things, you have to do it, but it is a bit frustrating. Then I asked the gentleman who did my biometrics what's my next steps, and they just said it's a waiting game from now. They update the portal for you, they update your profile for you, they put down your biometrics online. You don't need to worry about anything. So once you've got your biometrics done, that is the last step. So you've set your profile up, you've got your invitation to apply, you've applied, you've got your biometrics done. That is the last step. Once you've done your biometrics, that is it. You're just waiting now. So you do not do anything. You don't log on to say you've had it done. Like I said, the company in London does that all for you. Which brings me on to step number 4. So step number 4 is the port of entry letter. Now I got my port of entry letter on the 3rd of July. I had my biometrics and everything in the middle of June, so I only had to wait a month for my port of entry letter, also known as a POE letter. Now you will get an email saying that your online profile has been updated and to log on. Now, as soon as you've had your biometrics and you get that email, you know it's whether you've been accepted or declined to the country, because there's nothing else to do. There should be no other letters involved unless your police certificate has come back and you need to send off another one or something like that. But you know that it was the last point of your whole visa application. So I knew when I got that day, I was even going to be accepted or declined. So that's the most nerve-wracking thing. I came home from work and I wanted to open it at home just in case I got denied and I could cry. But yeah, so that is the fourth step, is obviously your port of entry letter. Now I do need to stress to you, as soon as you get your port of entry letter, if you've been accepted, which hopefully all of you would have been, you need to print it off there and then, because I know a few people had a few problems where they couldn't log back onto their account once they've been accepted and it's been cleared. Now you need that POA letter to be able to get into the country. When you fly over to Canada, the visa office will ask for your POE letter. So please, as soon as you get that, print it off, keep it in a folder, keep it safe, because you don't know if it's going to get lost, or like me, loads of emails down and you can't find it again. So yeah, now that is everything to do with the visas. I'm now moving on to step 5, which is preparing yourself for arrival. So what you need to bring, and I'm going to go a little bit more in depth about what you're having to take to be able to be accepted once you're over there. So even though you've been accepted to move to their country for 2 years on a work and holiday visa, you can still get denied at the border if you haven't got the right information and the right paperwork to get into the country. Now that would be the most frustrating thing ever, is getting your acceptance letters, booking your flights, going over and then telling you to come back on the next plane home because you haven't brought the right documents. So section 5 is prepare for arrival. Sorry I'm looking down, I've just got everything written down because I didn't want to miss anything out today. So obviously the first thing you're gonna have, because you can't get on the plane without it, is your passport. And like I said, make sure it's got at least 2 years in date from when you're going over to when you're coming back, because it'll be cut off early, your visa. The next thing, like I stressed before, and the last one, is your POE letter. The next thing is a proof of funds, which I'm going to go more in depth with in the next section. One after that is your proof of health insurance, which I'm going to talk about again. And then your last step is a departure ticket, flight, or proof of funds that you can pay for one. So you can either get a return ticket in 2 years time, a flight, which is probably not likely because I don't think flights even run that time ahead, or just money that you can provide to buy flights if you need to get home at all. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth. Step number 6, I'm going to talk about your insurance. Now you cannot get into that country without insurance. Now it is a lot of money, but if you think about it, if you're from the UK, you have the NHS while you're in the UK. When you're in Canada, you don't have that. You need to pay if you need to go see the doctors. Now they will not let you into that country. They will not give you that visa if you do not have insurance. Now for example, if you've took out a 1 year insurance, they will only give you a visa for 1 year. You need to take out an insurance for however long that you're in that country. So for me and my partner, we got a 2 year work and holiday visa, so we had to get 2 years insurance for us to be able to get our visa for 2 years. If you just take out a month's insurance, you will only get a visa for 1 month. I hope this is clear. I hope I'm making sense. Now I've done a lot of research, and I've also been on that amazing Facebook page which I told you about at the beginning, and everyone recommends the True Traveller website. I will link it down below. It's straightforward, you don't need to put in too much details, and it gives you 3 prices. It gives you like the budget price, so they give you a middle one which is their bestseller and their recommended one, and then they give you like a gold one. So it's basically bronze, silver and gold. There's 3 different prices. I think ours was £489 for 2 years. So yeah, so that is your insurance. I cannot stress that enough. I keep saying it about a lot of things, but you need to get over there with insurance, otherwise you won't get your visa. Step 7 is your proof of funds. Now, if you haven't got your departure flight like us, because we're hoping to stay over there longer, then you need to make sure you provide enough money to buy a flight. And also you need to provide your proof of funds. Now to be able to get your visa and your entry into Canada, you need to have 2,500 Canadian dollars per person. Now this can be in cash form or this can be in your bank. Now if it's in your bank, you have to print off a statement within 7 days of when you have landed. Now I have changed that over to UK pounds at this current time, and it's £1,492. So the exchange rate at the minute is quite good. So £1,492 will get you 2,500 Canadian dollars. Now obviously it's me and my partner both going, so we need to raise 5,000 Canadian dollars to go, but that's nowhere near as much as pounds. So yeah, please don't forget that you've got your insurance and also your proof of funds, your POE letter and also your passport, and you'll be fine. And then step 8 is obviously just your flights and accommodation. Make sure you've got your flights, you've got your accommodation when you first land over there. And this is the last and exciting bit. Like, we chose our flights due to pricing. So we went on Skyscanner, we opened up a whole month for December, opened up for the whole month of January and February, and the cheapest time to go was Boxing Day. We got a flight for £162 one way each, and that is super cheap. But this is obviously the most exciting part. Like, look where you want to move to, look a little bit more in depth. Like I said, I'm going to make a video of why we chose St. Catharines, which is right next to Toronto and Niagara Falls. I was going to put it into this video, but I didn't want this video to be too long and too boring. So I'm going to make a more exciting video of why I chose St. Catharines and chose that side of Canada, because Canada is so big, and most people go over to the other side of British Columbia, but we wanted to stay over by Niagara Falls. So like I said, I'll make a different video on that. But I hope I've answered any questions people had on trying to get a visa for Canada. Like I said, the process is not stressful at all. The most stressful part is the waiting. You've created your profile, you wait. You get your application to apply, you wait. You get your biometrics, you wait. So there is a lot of waiting around. Also the money side of it, paying for your visa, paying for your police certificate, paying for your biometrics, like all of that as well. But honestly, it is so worth it. I'm not over there yet, so I can't tell you if I'm enjoying it or not. Like I said, the next video is going to be why I picked St. Catharines. The video after that is going to be my journey from flying over there to getting my visa, to getting my number to work. So I am going to do an in-depth video once I've done that, to show you how quick it is to get the visa once you're at the airport. But I hope I've answered every question. Like I said, if I haven't answered a question that you guys might have, then please just leave me a comment below. I'll try and answer it as if I can answer it, I will. If I won't, I'll point you in the right direction. For example, that Facebook page has been so helpful for me and other people as well. Every website I've talked about throughout this whole video, I'm going to link below. And if you want to see my journey to Canada, then please hit subscribe. If you've liked this video, hit the thumbs up as well. I'm about to be involved in the biggest move I've ever done. I have moved countries many times before with my work. This is something that might be permanent. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm scared. But yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I'm also going to do a pack with me, because obviously I'm immigrating to another country, so like, are people wanting to see what I'm taking? Because at the minute I don't even know what I'm taking. So yeah, it's going to be super exciting, super scary, but please follow the journey with me. And if you are applying for a Canadian visa, or if you're in the pool at the minute waiting, just keep your fingers crossed. Honestly, it is all worth it when you get that acceptance letter. And please leave me a comment below, and I will keep me updated with your status. As anyone's moving over on the 26th of December as well, I'd love to get to know people, because I'm gonna have no friends over there. That's the scary part. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. As you can see by my face, I'm super excited, and I'm so glad I did this video for you, because there's so many little points to it. And it's just kind of hopefully made it a bit easier for you guys. But thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe, stay tuned. My next video, like I said, will be about where I'm moving to Canada, and then my journey on the 26th of December. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.